Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here, we do have a quorum. First, I will announce that this meeting is being recorded by Saugus Cable Television, and if anyone else is recording the meeting, will you please announce it at this time? No other recording. We have public comment this evening. Any public comment? Seeing none. We'll go to special presentation. We have a couple of special presentations this evening, and the first being a new program the superintendent would like to.
Sure. I would definitely like to speak about that. I had the opportunity last week to meet with Chief DeMella and his staff to review a product that came highly recommended. As you know, we've been working all year safety planning with members of the school department, as well as Chief DeMella and Fire Chief McQuaid. And we were very impressed with this product. We have reviewed a few other products, also working with Ted Nicoli at the Vogue School as well, looking at products. And we thought it was worthwhile to demonstrate that, and it's something that I wanted to show to the committee. We were so impressed by it that basically a quick demonstration goes a lot further with that. And after they met today also with Bakir to go over technology specifications, and we hope to come to a conclusion and recommend something to ensure school safety in the very short future, maybe a few meetings from now. So it's exciting, and I would turn it over to them to demonstrate the product. This is Brandon from CopSync.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Appreciate it.
Could you just state your name for the record, please?
Absolutely. My name is Brandon Flanagan. Apologize for my back to some of you. I'm the Executive Vice President for Brandon CopSync. We're a law enforcement technology solutions company based in Danvers, Massachusetts. We're going to give you a very brief demonstration, just a couple moments worth here, of our program called CopSync 911. CopSync 911 is a real-time threat alert and notification system which would link schools under a potential threat to the 5 nearest law enforcement officers directly to their cars, specifically on their mobile data computers, and the local dispatch simultaneously. Our 2 primary goals here are very simple: to enhance communication in real time and to decrease response time to a potentially life-threatening situation at a school. As you can see here on the board, this is the patrol interface which the law enforcement side would see and would be interacting with. And if I may, if we could just protect the integrity of the portion of the system and move away from recording for just a moment.
Well, that would be the...
We spoke with him, so as long as we're all set with that. Rich is going to demonstrate how that system would be activated. The reason why we like to protect the integrity of this, we don't want this to be overly known or accessible by the general public. So by double-clicking on the icon here, we're okay to resume, if that's all right.
Okay.
You can see that there's a countdown here, and that began with 15 seconds. If a teacher were to click on that in an perhaps active shooter situation and did nothing more, this is going to count down and expire to 0, at which time that alert's going to send out to the 5 nearest patrol cars and dispatch. Otherwise, a teacher or administrator had the option to
911 alert.
Expedite that alert by hitting send now or cancel in the instance that it was triggered on accident. The main interface right here that you can see on the right-hand corner is the chat window that the teachers and administrators within inside the school would be accessing. At this point, any teacher or administrator from within inside the school would have the opportunity to type some information perhaps pertinent to the incident at hand to the 5 nearest law enforcement officers and again dispatch. So Rich could type in a very brief message, and then the window behind it would be the interface that the law enforcement officers would receive it. So you'll see that this is going to happen very quickly. And just like that, just drag that down. And just like that, you can see right there that Brandon CopSync, Brandon Flanagan had sent out that information received by law enforcement. There's 2 hyperlinks at the top. Without going into great detail, I'll explain that briefly. The officers have the ability to click on threat location and see the threat on a map, very visible. And the power in this network is by bringing in additional agencies, contiguous by region, which thus increases the power of the network, bringing more law enforcement officers in. So in the instance that this trigger or this alert had gone out, perhaps a state law enforcement officer driving through the area may have received that alert, having been the 5 nearest, could very simply click on threat location, see where that is on a map. Additionally, if that same officer who received the threat was unaware of the schematics, the blueprint, the footprint of the school, we provide the target floor plan. So the officer should simply click on that and see the exact target floor plan of the school as it lays now. So that obviously allows the officer to receive more information, then make a best approach to the building, which would be under threat. Very simply, that's the kind of 30,000-foot level view, and we'll be here later on. If there's any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I know we had discussed, as part of the supplemental appropriation, looking at security.
Yeah.
And this happened to come up in the meantime, so.
Yeah, it did.
I noticed the chief is here, Chief
Yeah.
DeMella. Did you want to speak on this?
Thank you. I think too, well, the chief is going to give details on this too. I think it's important to know that as part of, we met again today on safety as well, as we've been meeting on an ongoing basis, but we're also in the process, and I just, we do have, our security plan in place as is, but we're in the process of reviewing that, and chief has been instrumental in getting contacts with NEMLEC, and we're going to be going through a whole audit in the spring as well as we've already started. But I think as you saw that, it can be pretty intimidating about the products that are out there, and I just wanted to qualify that there's nothing out of the ordinary with this. Part of an ongoing process, just happens to be a great remedy for a situation. We just wanted to bring it to you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the committee. I just wanted to add a little bit to Brandon's presentation. When the alert is sounded, GPS signal goes out to the 5 nearest cruisers, so it automatically sees the closest cruisers. So those cruisers will get here. It saves response time, especially with the the floor plan and everything else. It will tell us what exit to be able to go into to get to the threat sooner, because we'll have real-time information coming from the building about where the threat is. We don't have to go in and search the whole school to find the threat. We'd have real-time information, the threats in the gym, or the threats here, or in the cafeteria, whatever it may be. And it'll help us to be able to access the school to the proper entry and get to that threat and neutralize it sooner, which would save lives. So this is the first product that I've seen, and we've looked at a couple that will give you this real-time information, and communication in chaos is, because when something happens like this, it's chaos. Communication is very difficult as far as, the officers are all trying to talk on the frequency, the police frequency. This here, with the chat room, it gives you that real-time information, where the threat is, and it gives us the quicker response time, and we'll be able to take care of the threat a lot quicker. So just from a public safety viewpoint, I think this could save lives in the event of an emergency like that. Thank you.
Can I, and I don't know if I should direct this to the chief or the company, when you say it alerts the nearest cruisers, would that be because of Route 1? We have state police as well going through here. That wouldn't couple with the state, would it? Or
Well,
does it?
If they, I think Brandon could probably answer that better, but if they are a part of this network, they will also get notified. So even if there was a Lynn cruiser closest to the school on the Lynn line, that Lynn unit would have the schematics to the school, the map of where the school location is, and know where the threat is in the building. So
That is impressive.
It really is. And obviously, the sooner the police get there and neutralize the threat, the more lives will be saved.
And hopefully that's something you would never use, but what devices? Is it just on a laptop or hard computer, or can you
Also
use it
cell
on?
phones.
Cell phones as
Yeah,
well?
so if a teacher had a cell phone and, they're in the room in lockdown, bang, bang, the teacher, the threat, walked into the cafeteria, they could type it right in, would know where he was in real-time information.
Wow.
If I could just
It is.
add, this is a platform.
If you could come
Sure,
to the-
sorry. Thanks, Chief. I would just quickly add that we have a platform agnostic version, which means that this is capable of running on any smartphones, Androids, iPhones, iOS platforms, as well as tablets, smart tablets, if you will, things of that nature. What I also did not mention was when that alert is sent, we will also add as many cell phones to the network as desired by the school and the police department at no additional charge to that town or municipality, for that matter. And what would happen is, in that instance, that everybody on that network would receive an SMS text message alerting them that there was a threat, where the threat derived from. So, with that.
Thank you. Committee have any questions?
I do. I
Mr.
just have one
Serino?
question. So the district invests in something like this, the law enforcement, it is open to all law enforcement. It's not, the law enforcement does not have to be on this system, or they have to be on this system?
Law enforcement has to be on the system to receive the alert notification.
Okay, but like you said, Lynn, so would Lynn have to, if Lynn wasn't on this system, they wouldn't get the alert?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And that's why I said the power in the network is by
Yep.
adding many on. And we would, Governor Patrick has established the commission on school safety. So as an organization, we're actively meeting with the ranking members of that commission and bringing on as much as possible and spreading awareness of the product.
Excellent, thank
Are
you.
you aware of what the state police are using at this time? Are they investigating this as well?
They are, and I would leave it at that, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Well, only because where we're situated.
Sure, absolutely.
With Route 1 running through us and 107, we have two state highways cutting through tiny little Saugus, so.
Right.
And so we do have state presence here.
You absolutely do. And we see the importance of that, and I can say that we are actively pursuing that right now.
Ms. Meredith?
Do any of the other local communities have this currently, or is this at the beginning stages for all of us?
North Reading is using it now, and this is a product that is less than a year old. So we are rolling this out now. As I mentioned, we're based in Danvers, Massachusetts, so by all means, this is a grassroots organization, if you will, a grassroots effort. We want to put this in the hands of many municipalities and local agencies as possible, and as quickly as possible. This is something we very much believe in, and to answer your question, we are actively working with the overwhelming majority of the agencies specific to this area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
That's good.
Superintendent, want to add anything?
No, I think the, obviously, since, Columbine and now Sandy Hook, I think everything that's out there in the way threat assessment is managed, the way we plan for those things, we have to take every precaution possible. What I liked about it most for Saugus in general, compared to a few other products, is that this piggybacks off of our existing infrastructure. There are no additional walkie-talkies, buzzer devices, additional devices. It is a installation fee and a subscription-based. It's something that I would have to present to the committee once we finalize the quote. And but it looks like a nice product. Again, we'll be meeting again. With the chief. Hopefully, we can negotiate maybe parts of that as to which portions we're looking at our grants now, and as everyone is. But for something like this, particularly in terms of the recent money that we're allocating, talking about safety, I think it makes sense, and we'll be putting something together. I'll be putting something together to present to you soon. So.
Yeah, I was wondering if this was a partnership with the police department, or was this something we were pursuing on our own?
Oh, we've been working with the police since, since the summer. They came to the Institute. We talked about safety planning, revamping even in August, and I want to say we've had 3 or 4 meetings. We got snowed out a few times. It seems to be the day that we planned the meetings for, so we met again, today, and we'll have one coming up, too, as we work with the NEMLIC folks to continue with the threat assessment in general, so.
On the police side, there will be a cost associated with downloading the information into the cruisers also, so we'll be a part of it. So there will be a cost on the police side and on the school.
Oh, I
side.
didn't mean that you weren't going to have a cost. I just-
Oh, yeah.
That's all, I just wanted to
But I do appreciate, Chief, I just wanted to say, I do appreciate that you and Fire Chief McQuaid meeting with the superintendent and really reviewing all of our safety needs, especially as the superintendent said, with issues going on around the country. It's scary. It is scary, and we want to make sure that our students and staff are safe and parents feel secure in our buildings. And looking at the different ways we can make it safer, this is a nice approach. It is. But it's something we'll be looking into, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
The committee have any other questions or comments regarding? Nope.
Nope, that's great.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it.
Now for the best part.
Yes, we have another presentation tonight that I would like to have Mr. Woods maybe come up with Mr. Miller, and if I could put you on the spot to
Oh, please,
talk
put them
about
on the
the
spot.
origins of this. It was a long time coming with the. I know before, I came on in July, I heard a lot about the efforts made for the woodworking program and a lot of, to restore that and to really breathe life into that program. And we have a presentation tonight that I think will show you that.
Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you, members of the school committee, for having us here tonight. A few years ago, we were given the charge to put back a woodworking program in the high school. We did our best. We ran it as best we could last year. We were able to find a technology engineering teacher this year. One of the things we've done is we'd like to say that we've taken the existing woodworking program and we're trying to push it forward into the 21st century. We're using a lot of the same skills, a lot of the same methodologies, but we're putting the new technology to it. This new teacher we brought in this year was a former Saugus teacher. He left us for a few years. We were able to lure him back. He came back to Saugus with some ideas and some plans, and he's been able to really put those plans and see the vision of what he wanted with some of the students at Saugus High School. So I'm going to step aside. I'm going to bring up Mr. Miller. He's going to talk a little bit about what we're doing and what this program's all about. So, Mark Miller.
Thank you.
While I was away, I taught tech ed at Gloucester High School and was involved in a program where we developed a tech ed program involving musical instruments. The curriculum has since been advanced and is now part of Northeastern University's Graduate Studies program in engineering. In modifying that curriculum to our woodworking course, if you will, what we've done is utilize the same basic hand-on motor skills and then applied them with more physics, chemistry, biology, where does wood come from, what's about electricity, what does paint do, et cetera, and allowed the students to, we start out with model cars and small toys and so forth, but then if they have an idea, they follow the engineering design process from conceptualization and design to prototypes, testing, and final development. And I brought in 2 guitars tonight that were made by my students this last semester. Mr. Anthony Coughlin is going to demonstrate one of his. He's made a replica of Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstrat. The original, I believe, or the second one is on display at the Smithsonian Institute. He worked very hard on this. And without further ado, I'd like to show you what we can do in our wood shop.
Oh, please. Oh, welcome. Again, this is my favorite part.
You can stand wherever you want.
Hey, you have the guitar.
Awesome. And you made that.
Impressive.
Yes,
Wow. How long did it take you to make it?
the whole semester pretty much, and then a little bit after.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in
Does anybody
terms
want
of,
to come up and get a picture? Well,
you could
kind of do it over his back.
turn sideways.
That is something.
That
is.
Great job. Really.
Real briefly, I want to show you this one, too. This was made by a girl named Mercedes Linnell, who's since transferred out of district, but she spent a great deal of time handcrafting both the body and the snake that's on the neck. She painted every scale in individually and learned a lot about not only woodworking, but art, engineering, and design. So, you know, when we say STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, this embodies that.
That is just amazing.
How long did it take her to make that one?
She spent just over a semester. So it wasn't done by the end of the term, but she stayed after and worked on it in her spare time and got it completed here just recently.
That's amazing.
Now, we have,
And she let you keep it?
Just until next week.
It's on loan? It's amazing.
and we
Great
have
job.
many talented students in Saugus Public Schools, but I'm just curious, did everyone make a guitar, or were there other type
No,
instruments
the
from?
project was to make a musical instrument.
Yeah.
And we had everything from bongos and cajones, which are a wooden drum,
Mm-hmm.
to xylophones and a lot of cigar box guitars and ukuleles.
Yeah.
So things that the kids conceptualized themselves and were able to design and build, you know, based on what they thought that they wanted.
Sure.
So they're given the choice to design whatever they need, or whatever they want, and then to enhance that design.
They should be very
Very
proud.
proud. Yeah.
I am. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing with
great.
us.
thank you so much.
great, thank you. So wonderful.
It's awesome.
Again, my favorite part.
Yeah. That's the highlight.
Always a highlight when we have the students in, and then this is a good time to just make a plug here for our new artwork as well.
Sure.
That every month a school decorates our room for us, and this is the Ballard
Yeah, this
Early
is the
Childhood
Ballard,
Center.
Yeah, Miss Bridges is
Has,
here. She can
And we always say
attest
thank
to
you.
the hard
because-
work. I've seen them hard at work, actually, in passing through plenty of times, but it is it's very impressive, very impressive.
Brightens up this dark room, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
Jonathan.
Yep. Next, again, sticking with the student theme, we have student representative report. Mr. McTagg, good evening.
Good evening, Jonathan McTagg, class of 2014, senior class president. So starting with our class, this Saturday the class will be hosting the circus at Saugus High School in the Towers Gym. We have 3 show times. It's 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. And you can still purchase tickets. We're doing pre-sale, and it's a great deal right now. You can get them online at getcircustickets.com. And if you buy them ahead, they're $14.75, and that's 1 adult ticket, and you get 2 free kid tickets as well. And at the door, it is $18 for an adult and $6 per child. So definitely buy them ahead because it's
savings.
definitely
What
a
age
deal.
is child?
The child is anyone under 12, I believe. 12. It's a company that does it for us, so they come in. It's the Yankee Doodle Circus, so they come in and they do it all for us, and we make the profit. There'll be concession and things of that nature as well. Hopefully it'll be exciting and fun. We also have a Kowloon night planned for April 3rd, and that is still to be determined on the time, but if it's like the other ones, it will most likely be 4 to 9 p.m. That will be the last one of the class of 2014's fundraiser on April 3rd for us as we head out of Saugus Public Schools. But with that, we still have our senior week and senior activities that are now set in stone. And they are definitely going to be exciting as well. And we'll start selling prom tickets and senior week tickets starting April 7th. So it sure will be a fun time, exciting time, as well as a, sad time leaving. And also the project that I started along with many of the other students at Saugus High School, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Massachusetts and Rhode Island. We have currently, just as of today, broke over $6,000.
Wow,
And that was just in 5 weeks. And I would also like to say that that $6,000 was directly driven from solely Saugus High School students, faculty, and their family members and friends. We're planning right now to launch it down to the middle school, as well as bring it down to the elementary school as we reach our goal of $7,500. My main mission is, before we hit it, we definitely want to hit it, but before we hit it, we want to reach out to the town and all the schools, so when we do hit it, we hit it as a group, and we hit it as the town of Saugus. So tonight, we're opening it up to the community to donate, and we ask that all donations be in before April 1st, 2014, and we're asking to please mail them or drop them off at Saugus High School, and you can put those envelopes attention to Megan Agola or Jackie Alonji, and all checks we are asking to please be made out to SHS Student Council. So basically, as we move forward, we just want to get the community behind us, as well as the whole public school district here in Saugus. It should be great achieving that goal, and our goal now is to achieve it before April vacation. And then hopefully, as we get into May, we'll be able to hand that check to a child in need and make their dream come true, which is our ultimate goal. So that's all for the Make-A-Wish. And also, the 19th, I believe, is Shadow Day, and they are sending out more than 100 students this year for Shadow Day. Most of them are juniors. I took part in Shadow Day last year, and I shadowed Kathy Ann Reinstein, who is a state representative. Most of you already know that I want to go into politics as I get older and major in political science, and that's what I plan to do next year. So that was definitely the going point as soon as I stepped into that state house. And it was mostly towards Shadow Day, experiencing the different culture and things of that nature. So I definitely encourage every student who gets that opportunity to take it, because it definitely puts you on the right path. And some students come out of it and say, I don't want to do that. But at least they know now before they pursue it in their future. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your
I'd like to
acceptance
congratulate you
to
for
Suffolk.
getting accepted
Yeah.
to Suffolk University.
Thank you very much.
We're all going to say it.
I have a quick question too, on the circus. Is this the first time you've done the circus there?
Yes, this will be the first circus I think that Saugus has seen.
Are you gonna have animals there?
Elephants?
Yeah, not elephants. Not elephants.
You're just gonna put
Not elephants. But I do believe they're like dogs and acrobats and things of that nature. No tigers or any of that stuff.
Camels? No. No,
Yeah, like dogs and stuff like that.
no camels.
No camels.
Just asking.
And when will we be able to purchase a T-shirt for the Make-A-Wish?
So the T-shirts, what we're going to do is after we launch it to the middle school, we're going to lump that order in with the community. So there will definitely be flyers and announcements going out to the community as well within the next couple weeks before April starts.
Good job with that.
Good
Thank you
job.
guys
Yeah.
very much.
Great job.
I'm sure you're going to
Gonna do well with
the
your
goal.
career.
Definitely.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan.
Tell you, we have a lot of amazing kids at Saugus.
Yes, we do.
Next, we do have approval of minutes. The first set is the December 12th that were tabled. Can I have a motion to take them off the table?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to take them off the table and approve the minutes dated December 12th.
The chair will second on taking them off the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. These are the ones, there was a section that needed, that was missing, and we're,
You fixed that, right?
now they're complete. So, are there any further corrections or amendments? I'm hearing none. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to accept the minutes.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we do have February 12th. This was the joint meeting with the selectmen. We've had many meetings.
Okay. Chair, make a motion to accept the minutes on the 12th of the joint meeting.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Then we have February 20th. It's the date we had to move due to snow. We moved our meeting up a week.
I wasn't at that meeting, so I didn't.
27th.
No, 20th was the next.
Ms. Meredith, you say you're going to abstain because you weren't at the meeting? Anyone?
Oh, wait, I was at that meeting.
Hmm?
Says, was at that meeting. February 20th, are you looking at?
Yeah,
All right, yeah, I was there.
you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
It was the joint meeting that you missed.
Mm-hmm, okay. So I can make the motion, Madam Chair, to accept those minutes on the 20th?
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I think it was
It's
the 27th.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the 27th.
You'll be abstaining from. Committee have any,
Madam Chair?
Oh,
I was
Oh.
not at the 27th.
I want to check the attendance on this. I was trying to determine, I thought Selectman Allen was also at that meeting, and I may be wrong. But for some reason, I thought, and I just wanted to double check that, and I didn't. Does
Okay.
anyone recall if he was?
I don't.
All right, well,
Make a
we'll,
motion
can
to
add it
table
if we-
minutes. Do you check the attendance?
At the 27th?
Yeah.
I don't think he was there.
We've had so many, I forget who's,
I don't think he was at the 27th.
all right, we'll leave him as is, and.
Okay.
You have a motion?
Madam Chair, make a motion to table the minutes for the February 27th until you check the attendance?
Don't need to if-
Oh, you don't
unless
need
you.
to? I thought you said you wanted to.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting for
Okay.
June 27th.
The
As
chair will
is.
second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we do have voting of warrants. And I'll ask the superintendent, is there anything on here you'd like to highlight?
No, everything is pretty much, monthly submissions. There's nothing out of the ordinary in this submission.
Committee have any questions? Ms. Riley?
you know, not that I'm complaining, but it's going so fast, I'm not catching up with the finding,
The warrants?
yes.
Oh.
We're going from one to the next, and then when I go back to find it, I'll get it. I just need the amount. Sorry. Vinnie, did you find it yet? Okay, Madam Chair, I make a motion to not accept, approve the approval of bills dated March 13th, 2014 by Paula G. Andros, Executive Director of Finance and Operations, in the amount of $652,468.71.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Nothing unusual on that. Next, we do have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a few items to report on this evening. First of all, the first item that I have is that it was Reading Across America Week, and as you've seen from some of the newspaper publications and also on our website of people, we've had celebrated authors, townspeople. I even believe I saw a picture of Chief DeMella reading The Cat in the Hat in the local paper, but it was a great week of activities. One of the highlights, one of the many highlights that I would talk about that I was very impressed with, I actually attended with Chairman Reed, was we were fortunate enough to be able to observe author David Ira Rottenberg reading Gwendolyn, the Dancing Pig. the graceful pig, excuse me. Mixing up my.
Both
my
graceful and dancing.
and dancing, okay. But there was a performance at the Lyndhurst School, and it was really extraordinary. Students from Sandra's Ballet, Sandra's School of Dance, and performed, choreographed, as author Rottenberg read the story in a very animated way, I might add. And he was also available to answer questions from the crowd, which was pretty engaging. He spoke about the writing process, and my favorite question was what his favorite restaurant was, I believe. But it was really, it was interesting to see students so engaged and just hanging on every word as it's a wonderful story. With a purpose, but it also it was great to see the other kids. Kids from I think we had 3 students from Belmonte Middle School actually performing, and to see that giving back and kids performing for kids, it was wonderful. So I commend Ms. Gallivan and for putting that together. And we also we went to all the schools and read, as well as many community members and school committee members did as well. The next item I had was I had it just in paragraph form, but you saw the presentation of the CopSync software that we have been looking at, and as I mentioned previously, we're looking at a lot of solutions, and we're updating our school safety report, and that's been an ongoing process since the summer, and we have, I think the best part from my perspective that I can share with that is frankly how accommodating police and fire have been. I toured the entire, spent a day with Chief DeMiller at the Nemlik facility, and also, and we're going to continue to work with them, and they've been great. And just today, when we went over the safety plan, and we put out another publication on that, and we're going to be addressing that with staff, kind of the update, to make sure everyone's on the same page at upcoming Professional Development Day on April 2nd as well. But you can never, and we have increased the amount of practice for stay-in-place drills and things like that this year. And we hope to have a completed new safety plan in place, revised for the spring and going into next year. So that's the work that has been behind that as well. Another thing that has been going on with as many of you know, we have been working as an SOI committee with the selectmen and all the school committee members, and I really want to applaud the writing committee too, as they have really been working hard, drafting and meeting regularly. I believe meeting every Monday morning at 7 a.m. and then at 6 o'clock that evening to review what has been written by the entire group, to make sure that we revise that so that we are poised in the best position, looking at all the conditions and the necessity that warrant a new high school. And it's been a very thorough process, and also it's been great that everyone is working so well together for that. So added that too. And just a reminder too that on April 2nd, we are still hosting the Wellness Advisory Council. We have been meeting as well. And just a reminder to everyone that we are going to have that event, a kickoff event at 6:30 at the Metro North YMCA in Saugus. And we will be talking about the youth risk behavior survey results, and also hosting and highlighting other types of wellness opportunities within the Saugus community, programming that goes on at the YMCA that can really inform parents and even grandparents, assisting in helping raise families. Really some very thorough programs, and what better place to host a health event than a YMCA. So we're excited about that upcoming. We have 2 positions that we have posted. One is Mr. Bruno, as we mentioned, it has taken a position as a superintendent in Maine, and we have posted his position, and we're going to be putting together a search committee for that position. And I say that as to everyone who may be watching. If you're interested in participating in that as a community member, just send me an email. We'll be putting a committee together comprised of school committee members, obviously administrators, parents, and students as well, to be a part of that process. We hope the tentative timeline for that is it's posted now. We hope to be able to put our team together, have our preliminary meetings, and then get interviews scheduled for the beginning of April, so that hopefully we have some finality with that position. We'll see how the pool of candidates shapes up, and that our timeline for filling that would be April, by the end of April, in early May. So another position that we have is we have formally posted the position for a Belmonte principal. Ms. Kerry Robbins has been the interim principal there. As you may recall, taking over with a shift of staff. I believe it was 2 years ago, Mr. Bruno became the Executive Director of Curriculum and Accountability, and now we are going forward with a formal search for that position. We have solicited people, staff members, and community members, some existing members of the school council to be on that committee, and we will be having our organizational meeting this Monday, and hopefully being able to interview on Thursday. So we're moving right along with that as well. So we've been busy.
Always busy. I did want to comment just on a couple of things. The Lyndhurst program, the dancers,
Yeah.
that was a well-done presentation. It really was. Seeing in some of them are students, 3 out of the 5 that performed were from, that attended Saugus schools, the Belmonte, and the children asking them, when did you start dancing? And the interest, I might want to dance. I thought that's really nice, not just about writing, but all the arts together.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
It was a very nice program. And oh,
I just want to say, I wanted to say thank you to the PTO because, excuse me, it's really the great work of the Lyndhurst PTO that brings all of those field trips and presentations into the schools for us. And actually Leslie Parker, who happens to be here this evening, is the one who was in charge and put this together and got in touch with Mr. Rottenberg and Sandra's School of Dance. So they really do a wonderful job, and it's great to have them. So I just acknowledge.
thank you.
Thank you.
And
Good job.
it was interesting because he's not from this area, yet he contacted a school of dance in the area to create this performance, and just, especially because of the storyline about a pig that wanted to learn how to dance, it was just perfect that it be done together. So it was just very well done, and very talented children. Do you have any questions on the?
Nope. I don't have any questions. So that's it.
Excellent.
Sean Talbot, should do that under new business.
Ms. Meredith, did you want to, since we're talking about our wonderful students and talented students?
I would like to congratulate Sean Talbot for the middle school spelling bee and going on to the regionals this Friday night at the Lynn Auditorium, and then hopefully going to DC after that in May. So there was a lot of
Congrats.
students at the Belmonte that did really well. I know Gabriel Riviera did really well too, but congratulations to Sean Talbot.
Awesome, great.
Wish him luck. Do we have a report from the executive director? Oh, yes.
I'm here.
No, I know you're here.
there's a
Continuing on the
report in there.
lines of the busyness and the busy things that are happening in Saugus Public Schools, we have been in the special education department working pretty closely with principals and staff members on the transition planning and program development surrounding special ed programs within the district, taking a real close look at what we have, how well we do it, and how we can add to that. So that continues to go on weekly. I'm looking at class placements, how students will transition from one grade to another, how to better that process, even more so than it already is, as far as clarity for parents, and sort of clarifying the programs that we do have, and being able to give a nice description of what the small self-contained classrooms are. So we're really working hard to put something together so that we have something to put in the hands of parents, hopefully before the end of the school year, transitioning them into the summer. Part of the early work is being done so that the summer can be a really nice transition point for a lot of our students who are continuing in the extended year program. We'd like to have our class sizes and our class compositions developed for the summer, moving into the school year, so they have the summer to sort of get used to the new classroom settings that they're in. Leading me into summer program planning for 2014, Dawn Trainer has been hired as the extended school year program director this year. Christy Eng, who, from what I understand and what I saw as I walked around school prior to my being hired, but kind of poking around Saugus Public Schools last summer, a wonderful program that she had led for quite some time. So Christy has chosen to take a step back, and Dawn is going to help us out with that this year. Interestingly enough, the enrichment program coordinator from last year has also retired from her position. Mike and I met with her a couple of days ago, to go over the program that she had developed that was run very well, a regular ed program over the summer, and talked a lot about collaboration between the special ed programming and the regular ed programming, and how we can make it one, as they're all students of Saugus Public Schools. So she is stepping down from her director's position, and we have posted that, and are going to be working with her to find a replacement, and she is going to help us through that process, which has been really nice. A couple of really neat things happening, or highlights of the special ed department, or PPS department for Saugus. Belmonte Middle School had on February 26th, and we'll come to you with some video and some students at a later date, another school committee meeting, and have you take the pledge as well. They did their first Spread the Word to End the Word campaign for the middle school. We've already done it at the high school. We did it as well at the middle school. And for a group of high school students with disabilities, as well as peer mentors, Jonathan was there, to stand up on stage in front of a couple of hundred middle school students is certainly a feat. To bring that particular group of students to complete silence is a feat in and of itself, and we did that. And we also had all of the students at Belmonte Middle School, along with several teachers, almost all of the staff, take the pledge themselves. We'll be bringing that pledge to you as a presentation, having you take that pledge as well, and presenting it to the community through the school committee. It's a very powerful presentation. We won't do the entire presentation here, but when we do it at the elementary school, we will be sure to invite you so that you can take part in that. It's something that I'm very proud to say I was part of for Saugus Public Schools, watching the audience, and something that's very new to the district, the pledge itself, was really a neat thing to watch. Lots of feedback from teachers, lots of feedback from parents, phone calls and emails from parents saying, gee, that was really nice, you affected my child, my regular ed student. So I thought that was pretty neat. The other thing that we're doing in Saugus High School is impactability training, and that's a 10-week program for self-advocacy and self-defense. We've brought that through Project Triangle and a relationship I am developing with them. They send an advocate to teach students with disabilities how to stand strong and have some self-advocacy skills, teaches concrete, practical, verbal, and physical skills, while creating sort of institutional change about how we react to things. So far, the feedback from the staff has been that it's eye-opening and very, very interesting to see the reactions of not only the students taking part, but the peer mentors who are also involved in supporting our students. The Life Skills class is having its 3rd annual Spring Fling coming up in May, and tonight they're actually having a fundraiser for that that I'll try to shoot by on my way home from here. Another exciting thing that's happening, I don't know if folks saw, and I'll give you a copy of this, but Diana Ortiz, who is a student at Saugus High School, was profiled in the Boston Globe magazine this week. She's a cheerleader at Saugus High School. She participates in our Life Skills class. I will leave this at the superintendent's office for people to read. It's a really nice look into Diana's life and how she has embraced the peer mentors of Saugus High, but more importantly, how Saugus High has been changed by Diana's attitude and persistence and perseverance in becoming part of the cheerleading squad of Saugus High. Such a neat story. My hope is that this story pushes us to do much more of this to impact students as a whole at Saugus High. And then lastly, on our school website, March 14th and 15th, the Federation of Children with Special Needs is offering a planning of life for students who are transitioning, students age 14 to 21. It's for the parents to learn about the options for children between the ages of 14 and 21, and then after age of eligibility, after age 22, what might be out there for them. So that's on the website, and folks can certainly contact my office if they need some further information about that. Lots of neat things happening. I'm seeing a change in the culture of the hallways of Saugus Public Schools, just in people catching themselves using the R word. It's been amazing to me to walk through the halls of Saugus High and Saugus Middle School, and not only those buildings, but also this administrative building and other buildings. People are really starting to open their eyes to using words that are strong and positive and not hurtful. So kudos to the students of Saugus High who are really pushing that initiative. So it makes me proud to be sitting here.
That was a powerful presentation, because my son came home and he made me take the pledge.
Did
And
he?
he's
Yeah.
pretty diligent about watching what I say, so.
Yeah,
it
and
was-
that's
I
the
think it
goal.
does trickle
The
down.
goal is for it not to just be specific to Saugus Public Schools and in the hallways of the schools, but for the kids to be able to take it home and to be able to say to their parent or their aunt or their friend or a cousin, gee, we don't use that word in Saugus.
Yes, and to keep doing it, because a lot of times you have a presentation, it's fresh for a week.
Right.
And then, it's hit or miss, and then it's gone,
So
and
the
then they
power,
forget
the
their
power
pledge.
behind that is,
Was pretty
Jonathan and I have
powerful.
spoken, the power is the physical presence of people with disabilities being supported by peers, typical peers, who are standing not in front of them and not behind them, but beside them, telling their story, and having the students in the audience and the faculty looking at the people who are hurt by those words, and then for the peer mentors to be able to, in the hallway, say, remember what we did that thing, and I was standing with so-and-so, you get that picture in your brain, so, and we're going to keep doing it, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's
So,
great.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
And that's it.
Something the whole community should take a pledge on.
Thank you.
Committee have any questions? A lot of positive things going on.
Thank you for that.
Thank
You always
you.
have a lot going on.
We do.
Very
Busy place.
thorough.
Busy place.
Next, we do have report of subcommittees, and Finance Subcommittee was giving an update.
Yes. Finance Subcommittee had discussed pay rates for all non-contract employees. We started that conversation. We are meeting on the 20th of March to finalize our recommendation, and we'll bring it to the full school committee with our recommendation at our March 27th meeting.
And that's on substitutes and other non-unit compensation.
Correct.
Yeah. That's,
And that's it.
you didn't have anything else that was referred? Is that the end of,
That's it for us, yes. Yeah,
thank you.
welcome.
Committee have any questions? None. Next, we have a report of the co-curricular subcommittee. Mr. Serino?
What we did on the co-curricular subcommittee is we picked up something that started last year, which was on the agenda, was the naming of the auditorium and at Saugus High. And the question I asked about naming it is, how do you go about naming something for someone? And it came up with the naming of facilities, and the one thing that hit me was extraordinary lifetime achievement was one of the guidelines to it. And we came up with the Lemoyne Mitchell Performing Arts Center. And those two people, there's no more extraordinary lifetime achievement than those two people. I've known both of them, and for what they did for the school and performing arts, it's something that I think should be done. and I'd make a motion that we name.
Before you make the motion, let's see if there's any discussion first.
Oh, okay.
Is there any discussion? Committee have any questions? No?
Question?
So you want to make a motion to recommend?
I make a motion that we recommend naming the Saugus High School Auditorium, the Lamone Mitchell Performing Arts Center.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And I know for all of you, this has been a very long process. And this isn't the end, because we'll still be meeting to make sure that it's done appropriately and designed appropriately, and it can be expanded on to recognize other individuals that touch our students in the performing arts area. So, looking forward to working with all of you.
Well deserved.
Welcome. You are all very welcome, and thank you for being patient through the process. Next on the agenda, Ms. Riley?
Another, just an update on food service subcommittee. Or would you rather have me wait?
It's not on the agenda, but you're meeting again, and I know because the contract extension will be coming up soon, so we'll place this on next agenda, if you
Okay,
just want to
that's
make
fine.
that announcement that it next...
Yes, we will be talking about and discussing the contract extension for Aramark. And that meeting will be held March 19th in the business manager's office at 3:30. So,
And that's just on the contract extension.
yeah, that's going to be it for that day.
The committee did receive copy in the packet, so you can familiarize yourselves, and if you have any questions or comments, forward them to the chair of the Food Service Subcommittee, and maybe they can get your questions and comments addressed while they're meeting. Okay?
Thank you.
Old business. Saugus High School Statement of Interest update. I'm sure the superintendent had already touched on this, but we definitely want to announce to the public, we are meeting every Monday till the end of time. No. Every Monday.
But we're doing some really good bonding, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Every Monday at 6 o'clock here in the school committee room. We will be reviewing all the questions, everything that's been drafted to submit the statement of interest. We're doing pieces at a time, getting feedback. Please, everyone is welcome to attend. We want you to participate. We want this a real community effort. All school committee members, Board of Selectmen, town meeting members. There's many people, the town manager, of course, and the superintendent, along with us. We've all been working on this, and tell you, it is really a positive. It has been a real positive experience. Everyone working to the same goal. I think the more the community's involved and made aware of what the actual issues are and why we are putting this forward, of course, the statement of interest in, why we're putting it forward is important. So even if you can't attend, they are being recorded. Cable has been wonderful about recording all of them, and they will be showing them on local access cable, or you can watch them on Vimeo once they're uploaded on there. Just to understand, and I know a lot of people feel, oh, I went to the school, it's fine, but you don't realize how much money you waste in just energy inefficiencies alone, let alone all the other deficiencies in the building. And money could be better spent in other areas of education, direct services to our students, if we could have an energy efficient, much like we did with even the Belmonte. Just the energy efficiency there is going to make a huge difference, not only in the atmosphere, but in our savings.
I would like to thank everybody that's involved in that, with the support of the selectmen and superintendent, all of us working together. But a special thank you to Frank Woods and Mike Hashem and Peter Manugian that are working night and day and weekends. I try to attend all the meetings, but I am not working night and day like you guys are. And the writing and all the effort that you're putting in for everybody and these kids in this town. I appreciate it.
We all appreciate it. And I also want to mention that there will be an open house on, mark your calendars, March 29th, where we will be walking through and actually going to have some fun with it.
Oh, the scavenger hunt.
That blew the whole secret.
Why, is that a secret? That's not a secret. Is that a secret?
Not anymore.
I'm not really good at keeping secrets, so.
So, everybody, we're going to
tell you what the prize is. There's a prize.
again.
Then I'll keep the secret.
I know. Okay, so you know there's a scavenger hunt, you know there's going to be a surprise. March 29th, join us Saturday morning, starting at 8:30. Please.
And I promise not to tell what the surprise is.
I'm going to get with the duct tape.
Just don't tell me and I won't be able to tell. All right, sorry, I didn't know. Just don't tell me. Fun. All right, what's next?
Committee want to add anything else to that? Blow any more surprises? No? Okay.
No, it'll be a good time.
It will.
It will. School calendars. Last meeting, I had requested that these stay on the agenda for review. We had a couple of different additions, samples for starting the school year next year and the year after. The earlier we set the school calendar, the better, especially in planning and in these days when with all different activities. It's a lot easier, especially at the high school level, if they had a set calendar they could work with. So I'm not sure if the committee wanted to discuss these this evening, if you were ready to do that, or you want to refer to next agenda. We had this on our last meeting
Right.
agenda, and we
Right.
had requested it be placed on this agenda.
Right. And I thought-
Also, in the packet was this year's calendar, but I'll get to that in a minute.
None of these calendars, without pulling them all up, were that starting before Labor Day, right? Because we were going to put a survey out. One was.
One was.
Were you going to put a survey out to the parents, Mr. Tempesta,
I'm sorry,
for the start before Labor Day?
I didn't put a survey out.
He did not put a survey out, but I'll tell you, after that meeting,
I
received
have
several
some
calls.
I don't think it's never
anecdotal
been
evidence that
favored in
maybe,
this
we don't need to put a
community
survey
to
out.
start before Labor Day. I wouldn't have thought, but
And
I do think if you're even considering it, there should be some parental input.
I'm not going to exaggerate. I received 6 calls, 2 that evening, and 4 on the next day that don't even think about starting before Labor Day, because they had vacation plans. So,
Well,
that's not
this year.
a lot of people do, this year it wouldn't
14th.
happen.
Right,
Right.
right. But, well,
Well, it
I
would
thought
be for
the
the
one
fall,
that we were talking when it
It's the year
starts really
out,
late,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because we go
And
back
in-
to third anyway.
And in a way, again, maybe, third time's the charm, we should really refer that to the policy subcommittee, because it had been proposed but never adopted, that we have just a straight policy. If Labor Day falls on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, we start after Labor Day. If it falls on, if there's almost a full week before,
Right.
we should start before Labor Day. So if we just had a policy, zip, it's there, and everyone knows in advance, it would be a lot easier.
Has that ever happened in Saugus, though? That they went back before Labor Day?
Yes. Just a few years ago, or 2 years ago, they went back.
We will be
Because
having a
it's a full-
policy subcommittee meeting the 25th, and we'll
It
take
was
that
a
up.
full week,
Mhm.
just 2 years ago or last year, I can't
I think
remember
it
now.
was 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Mhm.
So we did
I
start,
must
and it
have
was
blocked
only the
that right
Wednesday
out.
and Thursday. They
Right.
only
I
went
don't
2
recall.
days.
2
in that
days.
week. Yeah. I don't know if we need to formally refer it, but I think it's something that we
Yep.
should consider.
Add it to your list, Ben. Yes.
Regarding this year's calendar, again, parents have been concerned. I've received a couple of inquiries regarding snow days, because we have used all 5 of our snow days that we had built into our calendar
This year?
this year. Yes, we used all 5. But there are still days left, and snowstorms are still pending. Luckily, we have not had to use any more in these last couple, but there's another one next week, and we just want to let parents know, and I'll let the superintendent speak on it. We are watching it closely. I think we'll be okay. I do.
Yeah.
Even if we have to use one more snow day in this year, I think we will, because we have enough days.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Obviously, I do whatever prayers I can, as I did this morning. I didn't like the shift of the snow line even this morning, was a little bit different. But we're going to try to be as conservative as we can be, but always making the decision based on the safety of the students. So positive vibes. All right.
I stopped doing the snow dance, if that helps.
Well, I know a lot of people were concerned, but I think we'll be okay for the year.
we
The
can't
superintendent
predict the
is
weather.
watching that. We're not going to have school just to, if it's dangerous.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And we have a cushion here, so I wouldn't worry too much at this point. Now, we do have some new business, which is, again, fun part. We have a list of
Sure.
gifts.
I have some gifts, and then we have some other recommendations, but right now, on your agendas, we have the, from Follett to the Waybright Elementary School, a check for $52.11. Ballard Early Childhood Center has two donations. The first is they are receiving from O'Connor Portraits a check for $483.92. And also, they would like to again thank Wheelabrator also for sponsoring the Ballard Bumblebee field trip to the clubhouse in Woburn, estimated to be $2,100. They're providing the pizza from Prince and also the busing for that event, and can't say enough about how generous they are and wonderful they are for the students. So we really appreciate those.
The gifts designated to any particular purpose, or is this going into the gift account for
No,
the school?
the $2,100 specifically for that field trip itself, and the other two though are going to the gift accounts at the respective schools.
We can do those in two motions then. One for the gift accounts and one for the, for expense.
It's going to be tough. Madam Chair,
Ms. Riley?
I make a motion to accept the donation from Follett to the Waybright Elementary School in the amount of $52.11, as well as the Ballard School for $483.92 to both go into the gift accounts.
Their respective gift accounts. Yep.
Respective, yeah.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to accept the gift from Wheelabrator in the amount of $2,100 to the clubhouse in Woburn to pay for the field trip.
No,
That sounds
To
really
Ballard
fun.
School.
To the Bell. Well, aren't they paying it directly to the field trip or to the school? I thought you said it was going directly for the field trip.
Isn't it, it's
Ballard
to
Bumblebee.
pay for the field
They're
trip.
paying for the field trip.
Right,
yes.
but they're giving it to the school,
They're giving it to the
correct?
school to
Yes.
pay.
Okay.
To
And
the Ballard School
Ballard
for the
School.
purpose
For the
of,
purpose of the field trip. And the pizza.
that's part of the field
That
trip.
is part of it.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And a big thank you, of course, to all that donate. We have so many generous businesses in town. Next, we do have Superintendent, the recommendation of the high school program of studies.
Yes, he's going to have Mr. Hashem come up and speak to the highlights of that. I would like to, as you know, I was a high school teacher and principal for many years, and I really want to compliment the work that has been done, particularly in the short term by the entire curriculum team, directed and working closely with Mr. Hashem. We will be speaking soon about we have a meeting actually tomorrow to kind of finalize that I'll present to you about the MIMSI grant, working out the details with that, but they've really been working hard to both simultaneously increase the rigor of the curriculum and open up the access to that also, trying to show students and work with students to show their potential and to really, show them what they can do and put the supports in for them. So I commend their efforts. It's really been a lot of work in just a short time that I've been here to witness it. They really have a lot of great momentum with their efforts.
You really did, just reading through them.
Thanks.
Great job.
All right, I'm just going to go through the highlights. My voice is getting better, so unfortunately I'll be talking a little bit more coming up in the next few meetings. As far as the program of studies, we added a handful of courses and we changed the names of a handful of courses, and I put together a little punch list of the courses we added. Along the line of the woodworking course you saw today, we're trying to take in the skill sets we have of the teachers that we have in the building and the interest of the students, so we're trying to play to both needs. So these courses may be replacing courses that are currently on the books. We didn't take a lot off. Once you approve this, we're going to start doing our registrations. So based on the student interest, the courses will run that meet the student interest. So we're opening up some new English courses, Dawn of a New Genre, The Modern Bard, AP Government and Politics is being added. Physics, we're going with the AP Physics B Course 1 and AP Physics B Course 2. Actually, next year, nobody will be taking the Course 2 because you would have to have taken the Course 1 first. The AP Physics Course, Physics B Course 1 will actually be replacing Honors Physics. So what the AP did was, and Mr. Woods could explain it better, but he coached me enough that I'm very comfortable with this. They broke up the physics basically into two courses. So pretty much what was traditionally over the course of 1 year is now broken up over two. So we feel this is the time to replace the honors physics course with the first course in AP, and then go along with the AP course 2 in the second year of AP if they wanted to take it as a senior. We're also adding AP Physics C, which is the calculus-based physics. That's a course that's now available because we pushed a lot of kids in the Advanced Academy, so that'd be a course would be of interest to a great many of them. We're also, along that same line, offering AP Calculus BC as well. We're offering a course in entrepreneurship, fundamentals in accounting, a Latin 4 honors, a Mandarin 4, an advanced media and design, honors chorus, printmaking, wheel throwing, and theater games and improvisation. And then also on this list that I don't know if you have this list, we did change I have a bullet list that I gave to the superintendent as well. We did change the names of some of the courses as well to better define what they are. So we changed Algebra 2 CP1 to Foundations in Algebra 2 College Prep. We changed Adobe class to Intro to Media and Design. Foundations of Education is becoming the Peer Leader program. Performing Arts is now Introduction to Theater, and Advanced Performing Arts is Advanced Acting Studio Honors. So those were the primary courses that we changed, whether we changed the name of the course to match more what it was, or we added to the course due to staff and student interests. Some of the other things that we did along with this was the graduation requirement was much more, we're trying to open up our program of studies to meet the needs of all the students. So our graduation requirements line with Mass Corps. We didn't change that, but one of the things that we noticed with our specific program of studies was we required 3 specific years of science, and it allowed for no difference of interest. So it was specifically spelled out as must take a year of biology, must take a year of chemistry, must take a year of physics, instead of what Mass Corps calls for is 3 years of lab science. So we felt it, and I ran this by the curriculum team as well. we're fine with the biology because that's our entry-level course. We're even fine with the chemistry, but when it got to the physics, we felt that that was a little restrictive because we have a lot of kids that are more life science-based, and we'd be much more comfortable taking physiology or environmental science. So we theoretically could have had a kid that wanted to take biology, chemistry, AP environmental science, and AP biology. And based on the fact that we were overly specific with the requirement, they wouldn't have met our graduation requirement because they wouldn't have had the physics course. So we removed the specifics of physics and said biology, chemistry, and at least a third year of a lab science, and not restricted to specifically what the lab science would be. We changed communication workshop to a fine arts class. Mr. Black, who is our fine arts and drama and chorus person, is actually teaching the class, so it's going to meet our fine arts requirement. We updated the advanced placement contract in the program of studies. That's the one thing that, whether you vote on this tonight, it might have a little play in it. I'm going to be honest up front. We are, Mr. Tempesta had said, we're meeting with the group from MIMSI, which we're partnering up with. If they tell us to change the advanced placement contract to sort of meet what is more generally required, it wouldn't change anything as far as we're telling the students that they sign up for the course to prepare for the rigor of the course. If they sign up for the course, they'll be expected to take the exam. So that part wouldn't change, but if they want to change any little specifics in the language, we may tweak that a little bit, so I wanted to be open with that up front. And the other, well, there's two other big things. One of the other big things was he updated the Academy for the Advanced Program of Studies. And I had a tremendous amount of help from Mr. Bruno, Mr. Woods, Mr. Sullivan, and Mr. Tempesta on this. One of the things that we found that we've had a lot of interest in the program, but in getting feedback from parents and students, one of the biggest single feedbacks was that it was too prescriptive. In other words, they were basically taking a prescribed set of courses. Almost all 28 courses their entire year were laid out for them and gave no flexibility for students that wanted to take all the advanced classes but did have specific interest in drama or different sciences or any of the fine arts or computers. So what we did was we opened it up a little bit and made it less prescriptive, not less rigorous. So what we did was we made the freshman and sophomore years basically the same for whether you wanted to be a humanities or STEM. Our thought and rationale behind that was if a student's going to go off to college, they don't have to declare their major when they're applying. So why are we making our 8th graders declare their major before they ever walk into high school? It was something I think when we designed it a few years ago, you know, we thought it was a good idea. Now as we look at it, again, we let them get a little bit older, let it get into the high school, and then make the decisions based on where they want to go after they've taken some of the courses. So the freshman year and sophomore year are a pretty packed honors program. I don't know what page this is on in your handout, because I put it on my own separate.
5.
Is it on 5?
I
Is that far up there?
It's on 5.
Bottom of 5, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, I have it on the bottom of 5.
Oh, you've actually got the okay. I wasn't sure if you were looking at the 70-page document.
She's looking at the 70-page
Okay, so-
document. We're looking at the cheat sheet.
This is why you should read the real stuff.
Okay, on the cheat sheet, I think it's the bottom of 5.
Yeah, it is.
So we laid out all the honors courses that they'd have to take along the way. And then if you flip it to the top of 6, or scroll it down to the top of 6, we differentiate between the humanities pathway or the STEMS pathway by taking a total of 5 AP classes. If you're in the humanities pathway, 4 of them have to be in the humanities, 1 in ELA, 1 in social studies. Beyond the APs, we're requiring 4 years of a world language in high school, 2 years of a fine arts, which is a year more than they have to, and then we did stipulate that you also have to meet all the graduation requirements of the high school. With the STEM pathway, it was just basically flipped. 4 of the 4 must be in the area of STEM, 1 must be math, 1 must be science, complete 3 years of world language, We upped the technology requirement, technology education requirement to 2 years, because that would be their area of interest, and meet all the other graduation requirements of the program. Now, we're not limiting it to 5. If they wanted to take 6, 7, 8, absolutely be encouraged, okay? But this, we felt, had the rigor, but also had the flexibility that everybody could have their own individual interest, and they weren't quite so pigeonholed into what they were doing. One of the other things that's not on the cheat sheet that I'm going to talk about a little bit, if you look at a lot of the prerequisites, you won't notice there's a difference because you're only looking at one of the programs of study. A program of studies had prerequisites that were very spelled out, that if you didn't get an 80 in this class and a 90 in this class, you couldn't take that class. And they were very if-then statements, so to speak, as far as the requirements. We want to open up all of the pathways to the various students. So if a student is getting a 78 in an honors class and is giving maximum effort and wants to stay in the honors class, I don't think there's a need to necessarily tell a kid that they can't take honors anymore just because their number wasn't exactly what it was. So what we did as far as the prerequisite goes, in order to go from a college prep class to another college prep class, you have to pass the college prep class that you're in. If you want to go to an honors class and you get a teacher recommendation to either stay in the honors class or go up to the honors class, that's enough for us. And we'll give the teachers have their guidelines, but when they have an exceptional student that missed a specific number for any small reasons and they want to push a kid a little harder, and maybe it was because they weren't challenged and that's why they got an 85 in a college prep class, but being an honors class might expose them to better material and be more fitting for them. We didn't want to put the handcuffs on the teachers and say, you got to come to me for permission to recommend them. If the teacher's recommendation, if the expert in the classroom's recommendation is for them to go into an honors class, that's enough for the student to get into the honors class. So we usually have professional discretion to try to do that. And that way we open up the pathways to all the students, we open up the opportunities to all the students. So if a kid had a 75 in biology when they were in the 9th grade, they were not going to be restricted from taking AP physics as a senior. Mm-hmm. So that's what we were trying to get around, is some of those. It's nice to say that these numbers, and I'm a numbers guy, that if they meet this number, they go here, but we're not dealing with a sorting mechanism. We're dealing with students trying to get into classes that they want to. And I think I'm going to quote or paraphrase Mr. Bruno, who said it, very rarely do you see a student want to get in an honors class and ask to get in an honors class and not do well in the honors class if you let them in, whether they met some arbitrary number or not. A lot of the motivation and the desire of the student is what pulls them through. So that's basically my presentation as far as the program of studies. With your blessing, we'll get going on the registration for next year. And again, the one area that's in potential change would be the AP contract. We have it in our program of studies, so the students see it before they sign up. We're not going to change any of the meaning of the document, but if MIMSI has a better language for it that they like a MIMSI school to use, we'll go with that, and that's something they would get once they sign up for the course anyway, so that could easily be done after the fact.
Do you have any questions?
I again commend you guys for all the work and effort that you put in thinking of all the students, in tweaking it the way you have. You're going to see much more success from these students.
I'm not going to take all, Mr. Tempesta said it before I got up and stole a lot of my thunder. Mr. Bruno, Mr. Woods, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Tempesta, and Ms. Matola, the guidance director, all were tremendously involved in this, and I want to thank them all publicly. I don't think they get enough credit behind the scenes, but we spent, it was a few days, including one of the days.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work and thought behind this.
One of the snow days that we canceled school, we actually met for probably 4 hours up in the curriculum office doing something this. It was actually a good time to do it because it gave us 4 hours with nobody else in the way, and that helped get a lot of this done. So I'd like to thank them publicly because it wouldn't be possible without them.
We'd like to thank them as well, all of you, for doing all that work. It's a lot of work, and you really do put a lot of thought into all the students, and that's what's important. That's where you see successes, so
I do applaud you for giving some leeway to the teachers when it comes to the students on if they can survive in a AP or an honors class. I think that's
That's true.
That's a great
They're the
idea.
ones that are with the student,
You
they
know,
know their,
I
and
do.
everybody learns differently, and nobody knows exactly how they learn like the teacher does, that spends the
It's just,
time with the
it's an
student.
awkward conversation, and I had it when I had it with teachers when I was the curriculum director before this. They would come to me and say, you know, John really wants to take this class, doesn't quite meet the prerequisite. I think he can do it. What do you think? I don't necessarily know the student, you do.
Right.
I mean, it's sort of a rubber stamp almost anyway, because I'm relying on their professional discretion, so I don't know why we take it away from them in the first place, so that's.
No, I do. I applaud you for that. That's a great change.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. It is. Good job.
Excellent.
Yep.
Committee, are you comfortable voting this tonight, or
I'm comfortable.
do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept, to approve the proposed changes. And what are we calling it? The
Changes to
exact
the high school
program of studies and the courses that are added to the 2014-2015 curriculum at Saugus High School.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. That was a great job to all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As after this, tomorrow, this will actually be, we'll email this out to all the staff, so they will begin to make the recommendations, I believe, next week. So, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Nice job.
The program, is that online?
My voice is getting better.
I was going to wait until you sat down, but,
Right now, the one that's online is last year's.
Right.
We were waiting, this will go up, we were just waiting for the approval
Oh,
of
of
the
course.
school committee first, so this will go up. So I'll work on getting that up on the website tomorrow, just make sure all the fine print's done. The only other thing that's a little, and I didn't say, we're working, putting the course numbers in X2, so that, it may be a delay of one day to get, before we get it up.
so it would be safe to say that people will be able to view the updated,
Program of studies
Studies
by
next week?
By Monday, yes, absolutely. It will be, I don't know, yeah, we'll get the old one down at that point.
I found it helpful as a parent to be
Oh,
able to
absolutely.
look at it online, because
And
I knew my child was conferring with his teachers. I
Yes.
wanted to know what.
Absolutely, and
He
it
was
will be
looking at.
right in the Saugus High, on the website, on the left-hand column, Program of Studies for, I want to get the dates right, because they don't look right to me, 2014, 2015.
15.
I know.
It is, but that will be up by Monday.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, we don't-
Next, we
Sorry,
do
side field trip.
have a recommendation on the high school field trip. The superintendent, you have a recommendation?
Yeah, I would like, there's a, as you see in your packets, and I don't know if representatives from the high school want to speak about it directly, or if Mr. Hashem wants to highlight it too, but there's a really exciting trip that looks great, particularly today, as you look at the tropical picture on there to Belize, and it looks like a great opportunity for our students. I know that at another time too, we'll have a presentation about the recent trip.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
Next time we'll have
The Galapagos
yeah.
trip update. Particularly the feedback that I've heard from students about these trips and also from staff is the experiential learning of, it's one thing to study, Darwin and other things, speaking to the Galapagos trip, but when you actually experience, when you're at the place, there's no substitute for that. And more importantly, when you're the process of traveling, the process of seeing what a third world country is like, and everything from economics to atmosphere, social conditions, it really does take students from their kind of insular perspective of our area and puts them out there in the world. So I think it's a wonderful trip. I fully support it. I don't know if we have any
This
more.
particular trip has an emphasis on the ecosystem structures and diversity. Is someone here from? Hi.
I'm Jimmy Seglio, and I teach AP Environmental Science and Biology. That's why I chose a very kind of ecologically diverse place to visit.
It is. It is. Did you want to speak on it at all?
Well, I just want to say that it's a very, diverse, country with it, just like the ecosystem. There's, second largest coral reef there, rainforests, cave systems, lots of things to do. It's, very, most of its country, 38% of it is protected under some sort of environmental, agency, so it's very, protected areas. It's a great place to, visit for an environmental science perspective.
It certainly is, and that's what I wanted you to actually say, because a lot of people say, oh, these kids are going on these trips, and they're not, these are all connected to things they're learning in the classroom, and that stating why you chose it, because that's what you're teaching, and that's what you want them to have the experience with. Thank you. And they have fun, too.
So this trip is after school.
And it does,
Dates of June 29th to July 6th.
says June through the, yeah. And it, of course, meets all the requirements of the policy.
It does, yeah.
Committee have any questions?
No.
We have a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the Saugus High School field trip to Belize.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. That is a great trip.
Guys looking for any chaperones?
Okay, next we have the superintendent's recommendation on the Ballard Early Childhood Center fees for 2014-15. And before you get into that, has this been reviewed by the Finance Subcommittee at all? The fees?
The pre-K, all-day kindergarten, we had a consensus that we gave you at the last meeting.
It was all-day
That
kindergarten?
was 3, yes. This, no, I don't believe we,
Not for,
that was part of it that she spoke about, but not specific numbers did we have. That's what you,
superintendent have?
Yeah, what I've been talking to Ms. Bridges, and basically, would you care to speak about it? We're looking at, in general, at the, trying to be, as you know, we're looking to bolster student preparation as they, and give more opportunities for different experiences, particularly throughout the day, in terms of in listening to what families are asking for and being competitive with our schedule. I commend Marie for the work that she's put in this, looking at comparable communities, asking around, and just putting this program together. We think it's really still a very reasonable program, but also a very thorough program, knowing that it's staffed by teachers, and really reflects kind of academic expectations that students will see later. So it's a great start for students, and again, she can speak much more.
I know it's an excellent program. I mean, do we have, you're requesting a change or adjustment in the fees?
So we
Do we
currently
have any of that
I do.
information?
Did you receive?
Brochure?
Yes.
Well, you said the superintendent said you did comparisons and other like.
I did. So what happened was I had spoken to the YMCA because they're pretty much our competitor. With looking at that, they're currently they're $38 a day. They're $192 per week, and we're $26.67 per day for our students to attend full day. So we're actually $11.73 cheaper for our students to attend 8:30 to 2:30 Monday through Friday. So with that, and with looking at that and trying to compare our program, I think our program, like Mr. Tempesta said, with having our teachers dual certified in special education and regular education, having our paraprofessionals that most of them do have, teaching degrees themselves, and just end up, being moms and things like that, and wanting the regular classroom hours. Our program has come leaps and bounds in the last 4 years. We have brought on the Gold Assessment, which is a portfolio assessment that we take data on each child throughout the entire school year. We're actually going live with our report card in 2 weeks. With that being said, this portfolio gets the students ready for kindergarten. We look at the students' strengths and weaknesses. We're able to look at their cognitive abilities, but not only their cognitive abilities, we're able to look at the social abilities as well. Which makes it for a smooth transition for our students entering kindergarten. And speaking with the other principals, the elementary principals, along with the kindergarten teachers, they see a significant difference between a Ballard child and another child entering from surrounding communities and private daycares as well. So with that being said, in looking at the prices, I wanted to, again, be more comparable to what our surrounding area is. So my question tonight, or asking for approval tonight, is one, increasing the tuition to be, comparable to the other communities, as well as adding an after-school program. I would love to have our students with us 8:30 to 2:30, and then with having the students have the option for an after-school program from 2:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. I think that's what holds us back at this point. I have done a parent survey asking them what, would they recommend the Ballard School to any other parents in the community? What do they see that they would like to change in our school? And that was, I sent 100 surveys out. I received 57 surveys back from parents at the Ballard, and 30 parents, their biggest thing was to have an after-school program because of, the early dismissal as far as getting out at 2:30. There's a lot of working parents. We also have a lot of teachers that send their students or their children to the Ballard, so it helps them out as well because, they can't get out of their buildings at that time as well. So I did, like I said, compare the prices, and like I said, for a full-day student right now, it's $26.67. I mean, that's really cheap for us. And even with asking for the increase in price, I'm asking for the price to go up to $33.55 a day. So it's going up $6 and, some odd change, which still brings us cheaper. We're $4.85 cheaper than the YMCA, even if with the tuition increase.
What's the additional money for?
It's in order to, I think at this point I know Paula had touched upon it a couple weeks ago, which she would actually be able to answer this more. We're negative $70,000 right now, and it's supposed to be a profitable organization, and I think in order to sustain and bring the programs back.
Okay.
Okay. And then the after-school program would be self-sustaining. So it would be, like I said, 2:30 to 5:30, and I would have a teacher, 2 paraprofessionals, a nurse, and a custodian. If I have, depending on the number of students I have. So, with looking at even if I have 26 students, that would be it would be 3 adults to 26 children ratio. And then after that, I would hire more staff.
The after-school program would be more like the Kids Come First?
It would be like the Kids Come First. We're actually going to name it Busy Bees.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's cute.
It is cute. Committee have any questions?
How does that affect the teachers? The teachers, if they stay after, how does that affect the contract issues and all that? Is that totally separate?
It's a completely separate program. Even the tuition itself would be separate. So it would be in a separate account. Parents would have to pay a totally different bill. So with that being said, it would be a stipend position, so anybody in the district would have the opportunity to apply for the after-school program, and then I would do the interviews with the team and hire according to what best fit the program.
I would have preferred that this was referred to the Finance Subcommittee for review. I didn't,
Ms. Andrews did bring this up as
along with the all-day kindergarten, but it was just in conversation. There was
Yeah. There was no.
There was no fee or what the raise would be. Like, we knew kindergarten was 300, but we didn't, we touched base on the shortfall of the money for the budget and all
Yeah.
that, but there was nothing really discussed by us about the fee part.
We do have a meeting coming up on the 20th,
Mhm.
so, I mean,
I think we should.
I'd like to table it till the
We
next.
can refer it to the next agenda and have the Finance Subcommittee, and I know Ms. Andrews will be back by then.
Right.
That can
This will
run
hold off
those numbers.
registration. Registration is April 7th and 8th. So if this is held off until later, it's because we have to advertise.
Mhm.
And I'm not pushing your decision, I'm just saying that this is going to hold everything back with preschool registration.
Did you request this at the same time when the kindergarten came forward? Because this is the first I saw it was in this packet.
I did. Mr. Tempester, myself, and Ms. Andrews have had numerous meetings regarding tuition. So, and then it was just to finalize the numbers and things like that.
We've been working on it, but it didn't go in with the other submission.
What's the wish of the committee?
I'd like to table it till we get to the
Do you, can,
Finance Subcommittee.
without holding up the Busy Bees after-school program, could you separate those and table the fees and still vote on the after-school program?
We have to, that's not going to make a difference.
That's not
this
gonna-
time. That's-
No, but at least so you could get that started.
That wouldn't be until next year.
That wouldn't be until the fall anyway. And thank you. This would actually, like I said, this is my concern just because, like I said, registration is April 7th and 8th, and I do have to put this in the paper and advertise, just so parents know what the tuition rates are, as well as when registration is.
Well, we're meeting on the 3rd. That's on the 4th.
No.
Third.
3rd, right?
Yeah, for the SOI.
So this should have come earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. What,
I mean, this is the first I'm hearing on it, so I'd rather look at it before I vote on anything.
yeah, because I haven't seen, I know that we were having, and it may need to be adjusted, that we had a problem with the budget, but nothing has been brought forward as
Right.
even a proposal. And
From my
so-
understanding, I thought Ms. Andrews had touched upon it a couple weeks ago.
You know?
Has the preschool registration been advertised publicly as of yet?
Not yet.
No.
And how many
We're
weeks
waiting for
prior
numbers.
to, how many weeks do you have to post that? Do you know?
We
it's a
try to
couple-
post it at least
I think it has to
month in
be,
advance.
yeah, I think by law it has to be posted.
So
I want to say it's 30 days prior to
Mhm.
registration. So would that, I believe, I'd have to look that up, but
Can you push up
There-
that?
there are
So if it's
deadlines.
30 So if there's 30 days, then registration's in May?
it could get pushed, it would be pushed.
And what's the effect of that?
It can change.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hold off even if I have
Just
one.
parent planning for the fall, being competitive with local preschools, because pretty much the preschools, I know in my last district, the preschools in the area are all signing and securing kids by a certain date, so it becomes competitive. So there's a sort of a competitive time frame if you're going to sign your child up for YMCA or a local private preschool or the public preschool. They require, non-refundable deposits and things like that. I'm not 100% sure in Saugus how competitive that is.
Do you know the registration dates of the Y and?
They're around the same time as us. So usually parents start to make that choice. So we also hold an open house for parents to take a tour of the building.
So you were planning on holding that on April 7th?
Yes, April 7th and 8th.
Well, our next school
You're
committee
already
meeting
on
is we're meeting on the 20th, and our next school committee meeting is the 27th. And we can certainly have a recommendation to the school committee on the 27th and not the 3rd of April. I don't know how much that really still gives you for advertising unless it's only
I can hold it. I mean,
about a week.
Are you allowed to advertise about prices? I can
Yes.
advertise the registration itself, but if I don't have prices, parents aren't gonna know what they're paying.
But you would know by registration, because you said it was April 7th.
Right. But they like to look at the brochure, they like to go to other surrounding daycares and facilities and like
Right.
to be able to sit down and crunch the numbers themselves, because
Right. I think it's the wish to finance subcommittee, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's the first we're hearing of it and seeing of it.
Right.
It's, you know, even if we had it at 6.
Yeah.
Does the committee want to refer this to the next agenda and refer it to the finance subcommittee, or?
I mean, to me, it's not a very high
Have you
increase.
looked at the numbers of the other preschools?
Yeah, we
and
looked at
you're
the numbers. and
Comfortable that
I-
those are all
One
the,
thing I want to clarify is, in looking at our budget picture, okay, we didn't stall, we didn't wait. We decided to look and really address a deficit that we haven't in terms of priorities. Last year, there was a different priority. We had a prioritization of activities, fees, and that's what we're looking at. So when we looked at this in relation to how it would impact the budget and particularly that niche and that market niche of access, where you know, particularly the after-school, you know, those hours, we really feel that we will be more competitive. We do think we'll be the dominant people around for that, and we were looking for revenue streams as fast as possible once we got the news, which was within the last month or so. So,
When was the last finance
That's-
committee?
I know. When
That's
was the
why we
last
changed the
increase
structure.
on that? Do you know?
the last increase on preschool,
$6
it's never been increased.
Never been
I
increased.
fully support it, fully support it.
to your
We've
knowledge,
looked-
Paula?
Oh, yeah. No, we worked on it
Miss
together,
Andrews,
the
Mr.
three of us.
Tempesta, and I have sat down for numerous meetings to go over all the prices and make sure everything was correct.
I appreciate that,
Right.
but all those numerous meetings, we don't know anything about it.
I understand that.
It would be easier if we had the info, or at least the backup information to go with it. There was nothing else included in the packet other than the recommended changes. So, what's the wish of the committee? We refer, or?
I would feel comfortable voting on it, given the fact that Mr. Tempesta and Paula have sat down with her.
Miss
And
Andrews.
Miss Andrews, sorry. Miss Andrews, and I hope you're feeling good at home. We miss you. I feel
We do miss you.
comfortable with their recommendation, as well as Ms. Bridges. Sometimes I know everything should go back to a subcommittee, but
Not all the time.
I feel comfortable voting on it tonight. That's my opinion.
Well, to me, it's the same thing as the kindergarten. It hadn't been increased.
This has never been
And
increased.
it's never been increased. It's only, to me, it's a minimal amount of money to be able to take care of the budget. And if we don't have it, where's the money going to come from?
I understand what you're saying. My question is, I believe you guys did your due diligence, but if we're so much cheaper than everyone else, could we be a little higher? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, we don't want to be higher.
No, I'm not.
I'm struggling to
I'm like,
say
I don't
that.
wanna-
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
I don't
saying
want to horrify the
is,
parents.
I'd like to look at it. Not saying go up, but it's drop the front.
You can't make an educated decision if you don't have the information.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't. And as much as I respect the opinion and the recommendation of the superintendent and those involved, I'd like to see the information. So. Should the committee?
I make a motion, we table it to the next meeting.
The chair will second. Any discussion?
Should that be referred?
All in
well?
favor?
Aye.
Nope, I'm voting against you for the first time. Sorry.
Aye, so it's 3 in favor? Yes? 1 opposition. And we'll refer to the Finance Subcommittee.
Yes.
Making a motion?
I make a motion to refer to the Finance Subcommittee.
Report back to next school committee meeting on March, it's 27th, right?
27th, yep.
March 27th, and if we have a snow day.
And the chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Is
Thank
that
you.
unanimously?
For him to come back with a recommendation?
No,
Yeah.
for the Finance Subcommittee to come back.
Finance Subcommittee?
We had already, the superintendent had already reported on the executive director of curriculum instruction and accountability search process. Did you want to emphasize that again? Anyone interested in serving on that search committee, if they contact the superintendent's
Sure,
office?
you can definitely contact my office or email me, and we'll be putting that list together. We would love to hear from the public on that, and I just, a reminder too, it's not on this meeting, but next meeting, I'll be presenting the findings from my entry report, and with those findings as well, we will be developing the process. I can't believe the year is almost gone. In April and May through June, we'll be looking to work on committees as well to create the new district improvement plan that we'll be doing our strategic planning with from that. So all that is going to happen very soon. So same people out there, if you want to get involved with that process, we're going to solicit that. We'll have it on the website. We're going to connect some reverse calls out there, and you'll be hearing from us soon. But if you are interested in the curriculum, executive director curriculum position, please contact me. So that'd be great.
Thank you. And next we have on here the Belmonte principal search process. Did we
Yep.
want to touch on that?
Yeah, that one, as I spoke before, we are meeting on Monday for that. The committee is meeting, representative of folks from the Belmonte school. We have parents who've been identified through committees, students involved, 6 students, 2 from each grade, 6, 7, and 8. And Ms. Monto has been great in helping organize that, and we hope to have a very thorough and inclusive process. A lot of candidates so far, so we're excited about that as well.
And Mr. Sereno, you're serving as school committee rep on that
Yes.
search committee? Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. And just so the public's aware, this is part of a process which we call an open process that hasn't always been followed in the past, but the school committee does feel that all administrative positions or key administrative positions should have a public process in the selection. So that is why it is posted, and the public will be involved, along, of course, with the administration, students, and parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Is there any other business this evening?
Madam Chair, oh, I'm sorry. Everybody? I thought you were going to ask Mr. Tempesta. I just want to publicly say that I know that the public's been hearing a lot about the high school SOI and, the shortfalls of the building, but this evening, with everything that was presented, the dedication that the teachers, the administration, everybody at the high school, I just hope that the community really sees that it's, we want a new building, and of course, we're going to work very hard to achieve that, but to know that it is still only a building, and the people that are in it are the ones that, have such successes in that school. And, I just wanted to publicly state that because, the press gets in and you hear all these things, and they're not always great, but just tonight, between the tech and everything that happened this evening, and and as a parent of a student at the high school, I am very, very happy that my child attends Saugus High School.
Yeah. I second Ms. Riley. We have the best administrators, best teachers, best support staff. Don't,
And at the middle school, too.
Don't look at the outside, look what's inside.
That's right. So.
We do.
I couldn't couldn't agree more, thank you.
We do, we have a good team of teachers and staff there. Killed her.
She's going to read it to me.
The graceful pig.
Graceful pig just fell over.
Not very graceful.
Also, we didn't, as I didn't mention, these books were donated by the author as well. There's
Autograph them home and read them?
There's signed copies. You may take them home to read them, but I think we might donate those back to the schools and maybe to auction
Good idea.
to get more money for the schools was our intent as well, so.
It was very nice of him to do that, too.
Yeah, he was a really super guy.
Appreciate that.
Great gentleman.
Is there any other business this evening? Hearing none, Mr. Serena?
Madam Chair, I make a motion, we adjourn.
And the chair seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you.